Okay, class, where we are now are on contraction types. Contraction types. The two types I'm going to talk about are isotonic contractions, isotonic, and isometric. Isotonic and isometric. Okay, let's break the word down. Iso is a prefix for same. Tonic is tonus. Okay? Now, an isotonic contraction then would be if you were lifting a weight that you could easily lift. So your muscle would essentially keep the same tension as it changed length. Let me say that again. The muscle would keep the same tension as it changed length. All right, so let's put it on a curve. This right here is what I'm going to call my length tension curve. My length tension curve. Okay. The length is based upon the length of a sarcomere, let's say. So I'm going to go to this one, which is a good one. Okay, length tension. Now here's a sarcomere. Now this is what I want you to understand in this symbology. That middle part, assume, is myosin with the little heads. This part is actin. So that's the Z line. That's the Z line. Myosin here symbolized, actin here. Length tension curve. Okay. Now I'm going to come back to this one though, a little simpler for right now. Alright, an isotonic contraction, here's tension, would keep the same tension. We'll go straight across. And the length of the muscle would change. Same tension, so it's lifting something you can lift, and you're changing the length so that the tension never changes. So tension can't build up or decrease because you're changing length. All right. When you look at the isotonic contractions, they can be concentric or eccentric. They can pull in or go out. Okay, what does that mean? A concentric contraction would be that, okay, let's say that you are, I don't know how many of you do exercise. We do what we call curls with a barbell. That's where you stand up, you flex your arms, and you have a barbell in your arms. You flex your arms. Okay, so you're standing up, you got the barbell, your arms are flexed, and you're holding the barbell. A concentric contraction would be where I pull up on the barbell. So I'm doing more flexion. The muscle is shortening. But I can lift this barbell. So no tension build up because the length is changing. An eccentric would be where I slowly let the barbell down. Now I'm still contracting. I'm not just dropping it, you see. I'm slowly letting it down. The muscle is still tense, but it's lengthening out. Lengthening out. That's the difference between a concentric isotonic and an eccentric isotonic. But both of which are keeping the same tension because you're changing the length. Okay? So you see right here. This right here would be where you got a muscle and the muscle is contracting, is shortening. Okay? It's shortening. Okay? So that's what we're looking at. See, the length is getting shorter. Okay? But the tension is staying the same. All right. Let's go further now. Isometric. This is when you're trying to lift something and you can't lift it. So you're trying to lift something heavy, you can't lift it. But you are building up tension ad infinitum. But it's still not moving. So your muscle is not shortening. It's keeping the same length even though the tension. So the length is staying the same, but the tension is shooting through the roof. But it's still not enough tension to lift it. It's still not enough tension to lift it. Because that's what we call an isometric. Now those type of contractions there are good. Like let's say you're taking a trip, you're in a hotel room, you don't have your weights or anything, and you just want to do some isometric exercises just to keep your muscles, tight and everything. That's isometric. Now, the other thing, though, just to bring up on isometric, if you're doing a lot of, now remember, within the muscle are blood vessels going through. Now think about this. Blood vessels are going through that muscle. If you're doing isometric contractions and you're not changing the length, but the tension's increasing, you're squeezing down on those blood vessels. You're squeezing hard and heavy down on those blood vessels. So prolonged isometric contractions, since you're squeezing on those blood vessels with blood in them, can increase the blood pressure. So long, good, strong isometric can increase the blood pressure. Okay? Now it can also cause the blood supply to the muscle to cut off if you keep doing it. Because remember, the muscle has an epimysium around it, and that ain't gonna stretch out hardly. So when you contract, you're squeezing in on those blood vessels. So just something to know about those isometric contractions, just something to bring up. All right, so here's the thing: muscle keeping the same length, but the tension is increasing. It's trying to lift it, but it can't. All right, you can study on that. Now we're going to what we call muscle metabolism. So I'm going to start another video for this one. This will be the last one on muscle 2. Okay? All right, thank you.